Hey guys, welcome back. My name's Aiden Mays. We have Max Gilsdorf, and we also have Rizo Huntley. So today, it's not Black History this time, but we're going to be talking about how social media can impact teens' lives and what they can do to benefit their adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Rizo.
All right, so starting off, teenagers have different aspects on being an adult, including how some are impacted by celebrities, but some are even impacted by what their parents do. So today we're going to talk about many different impacts on teens that could change their lives, their perception on adulthood, and also what they can do to help benefit their future.
Very good. Now we're going to talk about first topic, how social media can change teens' perception of adulthood. Start us off, Rizo.
Okay, so overall, teens use social media like it is a best friend. Like it is the only thing to rely on when someone or something bad happens, just like when you're lost or you need to quickly talk to somebody about any topic, or even just on the phone with the person you love. But there's definitely a difference between how adults use social media and how teens use social media. As you can see, most of our parents have social media and use it quite frequently. For example, they wanted to call you and make sure you're okay, or scroll on Facebook until 1 in the morning. But teens, they can use it for many various ways, including texting their friend to go do something or play a video game, or even just to scroll on through social media. But there's the problem. Neurodoctors studied the teen's brain and realized that teens can adapt to certain situations and feel different feelings different than average adults.
All right, to start off, teens' brains can be affected by every little thing. Like if you say, "You look good today," they'll be really emotional to that statement. And if they get yelled at by their parent or anyone who's mad at them, they'll definitely have more of an emotional impact. And but those were just big details. There's also little tiny details about say they get a gift on a birthday, holiday. They feel it emotionally. And if they do really good on a test, feel like they just won the Grammys. They'll be really proud of it. As you can see, teens are affected by little and big things. Not due to them being soft, but their brains are gaining hormones, and that is what makes them so sensitive.
Great job, Aiden.
Social media is honestly a huge part of life for most teens, but it's definitely like a double-edged sword in some ways. On one hand, it's great for staying in the loop with your friends and sharing funny memes, but finding people who like the same stuff as you, like gaming or certain kind of music. And on the other hand, it can also be super stressful, like easily get caught up in doom scrolling or feeling bad about yourself because everyone else's life looks like a perfect in their photos. There's also a lot of pressure to do things to get likes and views, which can make you feel pretty anxious if a post doesn't do so well. Plus, since everyone is online 24/7, drama like school follows you home, making it really hard to unplug and relax.
Very good. Next, we're going to talk about what teens can do to help benefit their future. Rise up.
Okay, so teens thinking about the future right now feels kind of extra, but building good habits early on makes life so much easier later. If you start practicing stuff like staying organized or not procrastinating on your homework, it becomes second nature. It's basically like leveling up your real life stats. When you're an adult and have to juggle a job and a house, you won't feel totally stressed because you already know how to manage your time without someone consistently making you to get things done.
Next, learning how to talk to people is another major skill that helps you out a ton. And that's just not from narrative perspective, but from hopefully all of us have experienced talking to people does help a lot and understanding people's feelings. This isn't just about texting your friends. It's also about knowing how to talk to teachers, coaches, or even a boss at summer jobs. If you can learn to stay calm during an argument and explain your side without getting into a huge fight, you're going to have easier in the workforce than what you would if you didn't practice that skill. Being a good communicator makes people trust you more. which leads to better jobs and better friendships as you get older. Max.
Lastly, figuring out how money works is a total game changer. You don't really need to be a math genius, but just know how to save up for something you really want instead of spending every single dollar on something like a trend or a big deal. A lot of adults struggle with this because they never learned how to budget or save when they actually were younger. If you start understanding the difference between stuff you actually need and stuff you actually think is just a trend, you'll always be way less stressed about money when you're living on your own.
Very good, Max. So, here's sadly we're at the end here on the conclusion. But, so, basically, the media sends some pretty weird messages about it's like to be an adult. Most of the time, it feels like movies and TV shows, only the shows are the extremes, either being a grown-up is all about having zero rules and doing whatever you want, basically. Or it's said to be super stressed out and miserable at a boring job. This can be pretty confusing because it makes it seem like you're supposed to have your whole life figured out the moment you graduate, which isn't even true. Real life is more about finding a balance between taking care of your responsibilities and still being yourself. The media might make adulthood look like a total glow up or a total drag, but it's really just about the next step in learning how to handle your own business. Say, this one girl named Judy practiced all of her skills, and she made it out successfully in her life. She learned how to talk to people. She learned how to find a good business partner. She got a really good business, and now she's rich. And we're going to talk about a little bit of our personal life, a little bit touchy, but go off.
All right, well, for me personally, I thought I would go into college after I graduated this school because, I wanted to go to the Air Force. So I, they'd pay for my school, they'd pay for college for me, so I wouldn't have, hundreds of $1,000s of school debt I have to pay off for many, many years into adulthood.
That's smart.
So I don't want to end up like, half the American population. Because,
Yeah.
They are very in debt with school still, so.
Too many
Rise
people.
up.
Yeah, so
Go ahead,
Pretty
Rizzo.
Go.
pretty much I had the same plan as Max going into the Air Force, but pretty much the only reason why I want to go to the Air Force is because I'm really fascinated in fighter jets and I love heights, so hopefully experience that on the way there.
It's very good. And personally myself, I plan on going to BG for flight school and also some maintenance skills. I might learn the maintenance skills at the school I'm at now to get my AMP and all that, but I'm going to work on more of my flying at BG because they have their own airport. But once I do that, hopefully I'll be offered a couple of options that I can reach once I graduate from BG and hopefully become a pretty wealthy, move to Florida.
Mm-hmm. Like Trump.
Okay. Thank you guys for listening to our podcast. Again, I'm Aiden Mays with Max Gilsdorf and Rizzo Huntley, and see you next time.
Bye.